All right. So this is going to be an audit of a AI-powered CRM platform. What we're going to do is we're going to look over the site. We're going to see what could be better for their SEO. What are they doing that's good? What are they doing that I don't necessarily agree with? Now, this is a quick and dirty, easy or cheap way to figure out what does Google currently know about your site externally. So this is any links that are pointing back to your site. A quick way to do this is you put the domain name in quotes. Then we look and see what's happening. So you've got some social profiles, you've got a Trustpilot, you got Facebook, Microsoft, Marketplace. Let's look at your YouTube. You've also got a LinkedIn. You're in Google Play Store and you've got Rocket Reach. Okay. So let's look at this URL. So you've got some social posts. In your social post, I would make sure that you are linking back to your site. Anytime that we are posting social content on any platform, we want to have links that are pointing back to our site, especially with Google now rolling out the new addition in Google Search Console where you can attach your social profiles to see how many impressions, how many clicks they're getting in search. So on your Twitter account, I would have links in all of your social posts back to your site. Let's go look at your Trustpilot. Let's see, let's look at the URL structure. So you've got a UTM source tracking and you've got the correct URL structure. We're going back to the top level domain without the www, which is great. You're not losing your link equity or the boost that you would get from having these backlinks, which is great. Let's then go look at your Facebook account. Facebook again, you're linking to the correct URL structure. And your social post, like here we see on Facebook, you want to have links pointing back to your website. Also, it doesn't have to just always be to your homepage. What you can also do is because you launch a new blog, you launch a new service on your site, if you go to all of your social profiles, all of your social media accounts, and you start linking back to those new pages, what's going to happen is that you all of a sudden get, let's say you have 6 profiles, you get 6 links all pointing back to that. So what that's going to do is it's going to help Google, one, find the URL quicker, so then we can get the URL indexed quicker. We get it indexed quicker, then we can get it ranking quicker, right? Not only that, it will also help with that URL staying indexed because we have all of these external links pointing back to it. And it can also even help us rank that page quicker. Yeah, so for all of these, I would definitely be linking back to your site. So your Microsoft Marketplace, let's see, does this have a link to your site? I don't see a link to your site. So I'm going to close that. This is your YouTube account. You've got links to all of your other social profiles. This is great. I don't think I have a link to your Instagram, so we'll open that as well. Look at your videos. And we can see, do we have a link? You have a link back to your site, which is great. So you actually have a subdomain, which is interesting. It looks like almost exactly the same. Oh, this is smart. This is a really smart play. So I think this is right. Yeah, so he has a subdomain. And then in the main navigation right here, he has it all linking back to his main domain, right? His non-blog domain. And so what he's able to do is he's able to separate all of that blog content from his main domain, which is great, which is really smart. And then even down here below his main navigation, right, this isn't displayed on the actual website he wants to do conversions on. Below, he's got another list, another navigation bar that links to all of these individual hubs or these individual pages. So he's getting a really good crawl depth, not only on his main domain, but also on his blog domain. And then all of his links from his blog, let's go look at an actual blog page. He maintains this main navigation bar here at the top, which then all has links back to his other domain, which is really smart. What I actually want to check is in the automated audit, do we ever talk about the subdomain? I want to make sure I touch on that. Let's go back to the site. Yeah, so having your blog content on a separate domain or a subdomain is a great idea. You could even get a whole new domain. Instead of doing blog.peppercloud.com, you could do blogpeppercloud.com. And then that way you're getting a referring domain back from there. Okay. So let's go back. And then also so if you're linking on your YouTube domain and your subdomain, go ahead on all your other social posts, do the exact same thing. You already got the idea. And then you're also linking to individual pages that you want ranked, which is great. You've got all of these Facebook stuff. You actually have do you have Google Maps listings? You've got one in Singapore, and then you have one in India. Are these linking back to your site? So on your Google Business profile, you have a link to the www version of your website. You want to go and clean that up. You're losing that a little bit of that link equity because you're getting a 301 redirect when someone hits that or when Google hits that as well. And then on your profiles, get services. Start adding way more services on this profile, especially since you're trying to rank for this AI CRM. You can get your photo count up easily. Are you responding to your reviews? You're not responding to your reviews. I would respond to your reviews. Yeah, you're responding to your reviews on this one. On this profile, you're not responding to your reviews either. You also only have 7 services listed here. I would then also make sure to go back through and add descriptions on each of these. I would go and double check and make sure that you do. You can also set the appointment link on your Google Business profiles to your contact page or your appointment link setting software if you have one. If you don't worry about it, just point it to the home page. You're not doing all of your attributes. You need to make sure on your Google Business profile that you go through and list all of the attributes that are applicable to your profile. I would go and clean both of those up as well. Both of those I can get directions to, right? Yeah, so you've got the verified address. You should need to clean up some of the other stuff that's happening on your profile. And then also you've got it linked to your YouTube, which is great. You've got all those linked. Okay. So this is your Instagram account. Again, you've got the www version of the URL. You need to make sure that it is just cleaned and it's the actual URL structure. You did it correct with your blog. Let's see, do any of these social posts have links? None of these social posts have links back to your site. So again, like you're doing on your YouTube, you want to make sure that you have links on all your social posts pointing back to your site. Okay, let's look at your LinkedIn. You got the correct URL, which is great. Are you posting on your LinkedIn? So you are posting on your LinkedIn, but again, no links back to your, oh yeah, never mind. You're linking back to them. I would, on all your posts, I would make sure that you're linking back to your, maybe on your LinkedIn, you're doing a little better than your Instagram. Okay, and then this is your app. Let's see, I'm not seeing any links to your site. I got the phone number there, got your email there. Okay, there's a link to the website. So you get the correct URL structure in there, which is great. Then when we go and look at your Rocket Teach, let's see here. I don't see a link to your site anywhere. Okay, so we'll close out of that. Close out of this. Yeah, so my automated crawler didn't touch the blog. So let me go look real quick. So while the automated auditor runs for, let's look at what the audit found on your regular top level domain. So on 12 of these pages, what you have occurring is you have the wrong canonical tag. And it's a very slight nuance, right? When we go on these pages, what we see is that you have the canonical tag set to the version that doesn't have the trailing slash, okay? When I click this URL in your canonical, I am read to the version that has the trailing slash in it. So your canonical tag is mismatching from the actual URL that is being served when Google or when a user clicks on that canonical URL used. So what you're doing is you're teaching Google to not trust your canonical tags. You're also force feeding Google a 301 redirect because you are linking to the incorrect URL. And that's occurring on 12 of your different pages. So in your sitemap, what you have occurring is you have links to pages that don't exist anymore. So what you need to do is maybe like once a quarter, go through your sitemap and click all of your links to see, do these all actually still resolve? Do these still exist as pages, right? Because as time goes on, your site's going to develop, you're going to create more blog content, you're going to create more services content, right? And so what's going to happen is that you're also going to remove content. And what you need to make sure is that you don't have these URLs that don't exist anymore that are still being linked to, right? Because what you're doing is you're force feeding Google 404 errors, which then is going to lead to your site not ranking as much depending on how bad it gets. Now, having 1 to 2 to 3 different 404s occurring isn't going to kill your site depending on how authoritative or small the site is. If it's a one-page site and Google's getting 404 errors, it may prevent you from ranking. But now if you have a couple hundred URLs and you have 1 to 2 to 3 404 errors, it may not be that big of a deal, but we don't want to be force feeding Google 404 errors for no reason. So once a quarter, go through your website, go through your sitemap, go through all of your internal links and see, okay, hey, do all of these URLs actually resolve, or actually are they being served when clicked, or are we giving Google free 404 errors for no reason? Another good way to check for 404 errors occurring on your site is you're going to go into Google Search Console. You're going to scroll down on the left side. You're going to go to Pages. And then you're going to go in the top left. You're going to filter it to things that aren't linked to. Then from there, you can try to find where are the 404 errors and where are they coming from. You're going to scroll down a little bit and you're going to start clicking on those, and you're going to get way more information of why are these resolving as 404 errors. So another way to find 404 errors that are occurring on your site that you may be unaware about is you're going to go to Google Search Console. You're going to scroll all the way down on the left side to Settings. You're going to go to Crawl. Then you're going to open that report. Then you're going to scroll down a little bit, and then you're going to see your server errors. In your server errors, you're going to rather see 200s and everything's okay. You're going to see 301s, or you're going to see 400 errors. In the 400 errors, click on that, open that, and then scroll down below, and what you're going to start seeing are all of the 404 errors Google is getting when they send a GET request or when they send an HTTPS request to that specific URL. So also for this CRM, it looks like you're using a lot of JavaScript to pull in the content. And so what's happening is that when Google comes by and doesn't have rendering enabled, it's not going to see any of this content. So also on this AI-powered CRM, what's occurring is that in their canonical tags, what they've done is they've used improper URL structure. And what I mean by that is, what we can see right here is they put spaces instead of rather underscore or dashes, or just having it be a single line of words, right? It doesn't necessarily have to make sense, but in your URL structure, you can't include spaces. And so what they've done is they've created this canonical tag that actually doesn't link to anything. And so when Google follows it, Google is force fed a 404 error. And they have it occurring 6 times across all of these different pages, right? So let's go look at this one as well. So we go to this page, right click, view source, then we control F, canonical. And we can see here is that they've accidentally put 2 forward slashes instead of just 1. So when Google goes and visits that canonical, it's force fed a 301 redirect. And then they also just have 2 dead links that don't actually link to anything. Let's see, sales pipeline CRM. So you have a link to a www version URL, but your site doesn't resolve the www, and the URL creates a 404. So this person has a link on their site that links to a 404 to a page that doesn't exist. Not only that, it is a www link, and their site only resolves or only serves non-www URLs. So you have a 301 redirect into a 404 error. And then you have a random 301 from / redirect to your home page. So you have 25 canonical tags pointing to different pages. You've got a lot going on with this site. So best AI CRM features, AI chatbot, AI powered sales and site. So they have a canonical tag that is pointing to a different page other than the page that it currently is. So that's going to cause Google to not trust your canonical tags. And then you also have 1,269 images missing alt text. So you definitely need to go through and clean all of that up.